People have, subscribe to us and watching every week. We're going to get to the Browns loss yet again today, Jersey. I know we'll have some thoughts on that. But on a more positive note, we'll start with a much positive note. Joining us tonight, Jersey, is Nick Kinsey, quarterback at Archbishop Hoban here in Akron. He's also an Eastern Michigan commit. It's a senior year. The Knights had a big win the other night, 38-0 over Boardman in the quarter semifinal of the OHSA playoffs. So they will move on this Friday to play against Hudson in the regional semifinals. Am I right, Jersey? Yeah, semifinals. Yeah. And so big game this Friday as well at Hoban's. If you like to go support local high school football, go watch the game. You'll be really entertained. Obviously, Hoban's got a lot of great players, including Nick. And there's Owensby, obviously the Massillon fan. He's not welcomed much over here. But shout out to Owensby.
Not too bad.
But shout out to Owensby. And I see Pierre John's already going off on the Browns. So we'll get to that in a minute. But Nick's first game back, he was out for 3 weeks due to an injury. So his first game back was the Boardman game, and went out there, Jersey, right here on the first play, and threw a beautiful pass here for a touchdown to number 2, John Johnson. And you can see it right here. I think this is his first play in the game. And you can see your 68-yard touchdown pass. You can see here, great job right down the seam. And Jersey, that was fun to watch in person. You'd see him go out there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even see him go into the game, and I saw that, and I turned, and I see that pass. I'm like, damn, Peyton threw that ball, and then you're like, no, it was Nick. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a great pass. It was right on. It's pretty awesome to be out 3 weeks and then come back. That's your first pass.
Yeah, for sure. And so, well, let me ask the man about it himself. Joining us now, might as well get him up here. Obviously, man of the hour, the man himself, Nick Kinsey's in the house. Nick, welcome into the Real.
How's it going, gentlemen?
How's it going,
Thanks
brother?
Coming on, bud.
Yeah, no, just watching some good football today, and watched some film, and got a good lift in. So, not much to it.
Nice. Well, walk us through that play there, Nick. We'll start right there. Obviously, I know you were out for 3 weeks due to an injury. You and I talked after the game. You said you weren't able to really throw a ball for, I think you said 2.5 weeks. I mean, what was that like to go out there your first play and throw a 68-yard touchdown?
Yeah, I've been dealing with some stuff all year. Just trying to get that out there. Dealing with stuff all year, and then to come back after some bad stuff happening. With like my shoulder. Mm-hmm. And being able to come back out there and throw a strike to my boy John and just get the ball in his hands, and he made the play. I look out there, I see the safety in the spot I want him to be in, and then just make sure he doesn't move to where I'm going to throw it, and touch ball. Don't have nothing much to it. John does the job. O-line, great job protection up front, so can't ask for much more.
Absolutely. It was a dominant performance for you guys overall. I mean, kind of tell us about your victory over Boardman and your thoughts on that.
Well, first of all, I got to get up the defense, right? Wing T, that's tough. Yeah. They're going to chew the clock. They're going to come out and be slow. So we took the ball first, Peyton Cook and Jance and Bub and the whole offense, they go out there, they score the first drive. That's awesome. So they put Boardman behind, scrambling a little bit. Our defense gets a stop. And then Jackson Callaway takes one to the crib off a punt, and all of a sudden it's 14 rip, and the game just started, right? So, that makes my job easy when I go out there and I just get the snap in my hands, and I'm told, hey, just go out there, look at the defense, and, make a decision. So that's why quarterback's so fun, right? I mean, you get to make the decisions. You get to be the ultimate decider. Obviously Coach T and Coach Saunders, they make the play. And then I just execute. So it was a fun win, but on to the next. It was just a little road bump.
Sure.
All right. How did when you did you have some jitters when you came back into the game? Being out 3 weeks, being in the playoffs. How did it? Did you have to shake that off a little bit, or did you feel pretty confident with the guys around you?
Well, I came into the game, and I had a lot of confidence coming into the game. I really liked what I saw before the week on film, and I was confident that after I saw the first drive that they were showing the same thing that they had been showing, you know, I really that was great. So I had a lot of confidence going into the game. I was just glad to be out there playing again, man. I love just being able to command and lead and win ultimately. So a little bit, but not much. I was just more happy and excited to be out there than anything. I was just pumped.
I know you
Yeah,
said. Oh, go ahead.
I say you wouldn't have known by the way you threw that ball. So
Yeah.
he had a great night. Great night. That was a great job. You know, threw 2 touchdowns, and you were on. So it was great to see, and I look forward to this Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun night.
What was your preparation like? Excuse me. During that, almost 3 weeks you were out. Obviously, you couldn't throw for a little bit. What was that preparation? I know you mentioned there you saw the look you were kind of expected to see. Obviously, that comes from a lot of good film work and stuff like that. So, I mean, what was that preparation like? Not being able to throw the ball. How do you get ready when obviously a lot of what you do is go into practice and throwing the ball, get those reps in, get your rhythm.
Yeah, so I got hurt during Glenville, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just bad situation, and then next week Central York, and the week after that Eds, which is a big game for us. So that was tough. That was tough for me to miss. But I feel like my job kind of during those weeks were obviously number one, get myself healthy as soon as possible, and so I've been working my tail off at PT and treatment with our trainer Jeff, who's awesome, and Jake. They do a ton for us. So couldn't say enough good things about them. And then one of my other jobs was just I was still watching a ton of film, just that way when Peyton would come off the sidelines, I could either help him, or if he asked a question, I could be like, hey, this, like, I like this here, or whatever it may be. But I was just trying to be there for Peyton and be the best possible, like, friend, quarterback, whatever they needed me to be to help my team win the game when I couldn't play. So that's
awesome.
Kind of
yeah, that's awesome to hear. It makes me want to run through a brick wall right behind you. Honestly, you got anything you want to follow up on that, Jersey?
Well, yeah, you could see it. I mean, you could see it. Obviously we're at every game, and the latter half of the season, you can really see the team really starting to fire. And it was pretty. I thought it was great when the Peyton was able to come in when you went down, and I had no idea he played quarterback. And my daughter tells me, she goes, "Oh, he played before he got to Hoban," and just be able to transition in like that. And I thought it was almost like seamless. So, but it was great to see you come in and be able to throw a 68-yarder like that. You know what I mean? That just kind of stretched that defense out a lot more. And but overall, you can just see the team's really starting to fire right at the perfect time. And I feel really, really, really good about this team. And that defense, like you were saying, just unbelievable. They started running that wing T the other night. I looked at Joseph and I said, and this team Boardman picked the wrong team to try to do this shit on. You know what I mean? I mean, they got some yards at that first drive, but I knew, once Debo and the rest of the coaches made the adjustments, it was going to be over. So, but it's good to see. And I'd like to ask, have you ever played any position other than quarterback?
Yeah, funny thing is, growing up, I was always one of the biggest kids on the field, weight and height. So I played O-line, D-line, tight end, linebacker, like kind of you name it. I played it growing up. So, and my dad was always my coach growing up. So I always loved throwing the ball. I was a baseball kid growing up, and I played outfield, played third base. So kind of always had that big arm, like you could say. I always wanted to play quarterback, but there was a rule, like in Minnesota where I'm from, there's a rule, like if you're over a certain weight, you can't play quarterback or running back or receiver. So I played all the trench positions, and and just loved it though. I always loved just playing football, but I think my real love for football started, in the 7th or 8th grade, when COVID hit. I was able to play some quarterback, and that's really when it all started.
Well, kind of go off of that. I mean, I know you said you're from Minnesota. Where are you from in Minnesota?
Minneapolis area, just right
Okay.
outside of it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What made you though start playing quarterback then in 7th grade? Then I know you said because you played multiple positions growing up. What made you all of a sudden play quarterback?
My dad and my brother, I would say mostly. My dad played quarterback in high school, then receiver in college, and he always loved just throwing the ball around with us at the park and all of that. And then my brother played quarterback in high school for a while. Then he played tight end. He switched his junior and senior year and played some college ball at St. Thomas in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar? Yeah. So I would say it all started with those two. Just throwing the ball around with them, having fun, and being able to have the ball in my hands and being able to make plays. That's the best part about playing quarterback. And I love all the intangibles that come with it, right? All the film, all the prep, all the all the ups and downs, because ultimately when you win, it's like, yeah, it's like the team did great, but when you lose, it's like, oh yeah, it's my bad, right? So I love that. Don't need to be the star, but you got to be able to take it when you're down, when the team's down.
How did playing multiple positions growing up, how do you think that helped you become a better quarterback in any way?
Just the mindset, right? The mindset, knowing the dude across from you is not going to be able to stop you, or he's not going to get past you, and being like, all right, I'm that guy. Like, how are you going to beat me? Like, right? Like, how are you going to beat me? And then showing that the quarterback position, like, hey, my arm talent's going to beat you on this play defense, or my legs might beat you on this play, which I'm more of an arm going to beat you kind of guy, but but
trying to go head up with linebackers and safeties every play or all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm not a feaster or chance or
run right through them. Yeah.
But I mean, I can if they need me to, right? Like, I'll do whatever it takes to get that ring on my finger.
That's it, man. And be able to, was it kind of a tough transition? I mean, obviously, I think for any kid to leave where they're at and have to move and go to a different school, especially out of state, it's going to be a transition. It's going to be tough at first. And but is the football any different in Ohio versus Minnesota?
I couldn't start with that, right? Like, I mean, the athletes, the size, the speed, it's all really sped up, but now it's starting to slow down a little bit again.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I mean, we were pretty big up front, right? The O-line and D-lines were pretty big, but never as physical and never as fast. And then the skill positions are really where you see the big difference, right? Like, I didn't have any Peyton Cooks. I didn't have any Jackson Callaways or John Johnsons or Rock Hills or Grady, any of my receivers, right? I mean, any of my starting 5 or 6 receivers would have been the best receiver on my team last year. So,
wow.
What was the moment for you when you got to Hoban where you were kind of like, was it a game, a practice? I mean, you're going to get some of the best guys every day in practice too. So, and what was the moment for you? You were kind of like, yeah, this is a little different than maybe where I was used to playing at.
Probably the weight room, I would say.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I got in the weight room and I was like, holy, like wow.
What was that like?
Right? Like, I see Bub, I see Squeak, I see Patrick, and I'm just like, damn, what is this, right? I think one of our defensive linemen is like a 25-year-old coach. Like, I'm like, whatever. But I think that's kind of the moment where I was like, yeah, like, this is a little different.
What was that transition like too, just for you personally? Obviously, I mean, you moved from Minnesota to Ohio. I mean, forget just moving schools your senior year. I mean, you're moving a different state. how was that like? The challenges of that and acclimating. Obviously, you want to go to a new school, trying to fit in. You know what I mean? It's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah, so I went to Stillwater Area High School in Minnesota. My sophomore year, we made it to the state quarters, and then we lost. I had a great receiver, Tanner Schmidt, who's balling out at JUCO. And then my junior year, it was okay. It was average, wasn't great. And then I make the transition this spring, right? So like six months ago ish, and I didn't really know anybody, right? Because I was moving here because my dad's job's on the East Coast. So we were just kind of looking because he had to move anyways. And I make the transition, and it was just like I knew one kid, right? I knew Tanner Mintz. At Kent State now, great player.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
horse.
He was the only one I knew, and so I'd hang out with him and JB Burkeen pretty much all the time. And then I met my football friends. I met Patrick, I met Bub, I met Squeak, all those guys. And they made it really, really easy, right? They made that transition really easy because there's a great sense of family on the football team. Like, I know that anybody outside the Hoban football team, like, yeah, there can be some like internal like messing around and talking back and forth. But if anybody tried to mess with the Hoban football player that wasn't from Hoban football, right? Like it's like a family, right? Like you're a bunch of dogs. So that part, that family feeling, and the part of me coming in and playing quarterback and competing and playing some going to spring like practices, whatever you want to call them, that made it really, really easy. And I was blessed with such great friends and supportive family and supportive friends. So that's it. That was awesome.
Yeah, all three of them dudes. I mean, good dudes. I missed Patrick last week. I was at a basketball game, and I would love to have been up here and ask him some questions. And but of course, Bubs. I've had a good conversation with Bubs, and that had to be crazy getting in a locker room with him and seeing him just bench. You know what I mean? Talking about the locker room. Good grief, man! That's what that kid can do. So, if you weren't playing quarterback, what's the position you'd like to play? Like if it was like Friday night and they said, hey, you could play any position. You know what I mean? What would you want to do? Like, what's your favorite position other than quarterback?
Throw a few pounds on me and make me grow a few inches and put my hand in 3-point stance and let me catch some balls at tight end and block. Right? Like, I love tight end. My brother played it. And I loved watching like Rob Gronkowski growing up. Like that was one of my favorite players.
That's the man right there.
Yeah. So I thought that would always be really fun, right? Just being one of the biggest and just being one of the strongest and being mean and putting people in the dirt and also catching balls.
Well, I like that you said block, because when I used to coach, I coached Joseph and I coached Debo in youth. And that's how we met Debo back in 2011. And then he just became part of our family, lived with us. And but my biggest thing, and we had some studs, and we had a team that played nationals and won nationals, and probably other than Debo, I think 2 of them went to Hoban, and one's in the Air Force now. But the thing that I used to love the most was the blocking. I mean, you want to get me fired up on a sideline when I see a big block, or I just see the lineman pulling, just going downfield, just blocking. I just love blocking, and I just love the fact that you said that. You know what I mean? So, but you probably got a great appreciation for blocking because you're QB and you just play on the O line. So, I like the old. I love the trenches. I love the big man. It's probably here. My son was the center.
Yeah.
Debo was the left tackle. And but I just love that. I like seeing Big Sam down there on the sidelines. I'm always just like Big Sam Greer. You know what I mean? Just I just love seeing Sam. You know what I mean? I just love big linemen. So that's great. It's great to hear, man. I'm glad there's attention to blocking.
Yeah, he's Sam. I mean, my whole line I'm really tight with, right? Like I go to get breakfast with them on the weekends sometimes after film or whatnot.
That's awesome.
But I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be here without my O line, right, and my receivers, just the whole offense as a collective, but especially the O line, right? Like my life would be over if I didn't have an O line that could block for me. And Sam's one of my best friends too. Honestly, like it was really Patrick and Sam that I hung out with first. Actually, we went to Top Golf.
Yeah.
and it was a good time.
I mean, those lines would bring the juice all year too. I mean, in some of those big runs, where Bubs is hard to take down because he just keeps churning, and that line's sitting there just pushing and pushing down the field, and you get an extra 10 yards just on a pile pushing down the field. Obviously, the infamous one this year where Squeaks literally picked up the kid. But
I think his that might be the most noticeable one, but his best block was on Bub's 99-yard touchdown run. I was out of the game. I was hurt, but against Glenville to seal it.
Yeah.
He sealed the edge on Sincere Johnson, and
which is not an easy thing to do against that guy.
No, not at all.
That's a bad dude.
I think that's awesome that he does that for his brother. Like I'm telling you, those two. Right, like if one of them's in anything, like even like a talk, just jawing at each other, the other one's close behind. It's just two canine dogs.
Oh, we saw in that Ed's game.
Yeah.
But here, you know what though? He was, even as a freshman, talking about Squeaks, dude, he's a great blocker. I tell his dad, I'd tell his dad, I'm talking to Bo, and I'd be like, man, he's. You watch it because we watch a lot of video here at the house and go back and watch the games, and so much of what Bubs is able to do is just Squeaks just taking guys out, man. And so he's a joy to watch too, and
and look forward for him at defensive end. Everybody, just have your TV, just have your eyes glued to the TV.
Yeah,
or be at the game and see. I'll just tell you that right now. I know
he's pretty
Mr. Everything excited about that.
He's pretty ferocious, you know what I mean? So, I agree with you on that. I can see that. So,
yeah, for sure. I want to ask you, Nick. Obviously, you're an Eastern Michigan commit. Somebody who's close to us, Tylen Boykin, Juice, who was at Hoban. Obviously, great player, great kid, phenomenal kid, an absolute warrior. He's up there as well. Why Eastern Michigan, and what are you looking forward to getting up there after the season?
Yeah, so I'm heading up there in January, right? I'm heading up there early.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose them over some other schools just mostly because, I want an opportunity to compete, right? That's all I asked for. It's just an opportunity to compete. I think competition and just competition just brings out the best in me in any way possible. Just like showing people and proving people wrong. I think I've really grown into that. I actually have a flag right above my head right now. It says "Prove them wrong," and I got a bunch of names on there that just people who've done me wrong over the years. And I look at that every morning when I wake up, just like, hey, here's another reason to keep going, right? So, the competition aspect, and then I'm just looking forward to getting my roommates and practicing and being in Yipsy and just being around the guys.
Yeah. That's great, dude. I mean, here I used to always tell these guys when I used to coach them, even at when they were that age, I'd say, I didn't really want kids to. Not saying it's great to have dreams, obviously, you know what I mean, and want to go pro, but obviously we all know that it's like winning the super lotto. You know what I mean? It's very rare that you get there. So, I used to always tell the kids, here, if you can get your college paid for, you've succeeded. You know what I mean? And I would say even if you don't, that success isn't defined by that. But as far as like football, what you get out of, something other than the lessons in life that football teaches you. But if you could just get to college and get that where somebody pays for your college, man, that's great. You know what I mean? Because, I'm in a profession where I see a lot of what I do. I see a lot of people's debt, and it's just amazing what you see, the amount of debt people have with that. So that's just great, man. And hopefully you get to compete and, hear it, and you'll get more out of it there. If you look at like what Debo, it's he went to Cincinnati, and and he played 2-3 years, and I always kind of knew, because he's like a son to me, that he was I always felt like he'd be a coach. Hell, he was preaching when he was 15 years old. He'd be on a pulpit at church on Sunday morning, preaching. You know what I mean? You see him in practice, you could probably see that. So, but I always kind of knew he'd be a coach, and I think when he made that decision to no longer play, I think it was tough, probably, but man, you see him now, and obviously we're all glad he's home, but I just seeing him out on that field and seeing what he's doing, the contributions that he's making, because that's what it's about, is serving and helping other people and helping guys. That's what coach. I don't think there's a greater profession in the world than a coach. You know what I mean? There's great people, there's police officers, there's doctors, etc. But what a coach can do for someone, it's just awesome. So to see that, and maybe when you get that age, always maybe look forward to giving back, coaching. Never be afraid of helping other people, and helping these young guys. Remember always where you were, but help these young guys progress. So that's just the dad coming out of me, man. Sorry, but you know what I mean. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Live in the moment, dude, and have fun. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
I know you said your dad coached you growing up. Was there another coach as well? I mean, obviously, what's it like being a coach T? I mean, who was a coach for you growing up that really inspired you?
Yeah, I'll start from the beginning. So when I started playing quarterback in 7th grade, I had a quarterback coach back in Minnesota who, still watches all of my stuff, and is still one of my biggest supporters, and like another father figure to me, right? His name's Cleve McCoy, QBFT football training. That's his brand. He trains. I would say he trains the best quarterbacks in Minnesota. And then I have a quarterback coach in Detroit, Coach Donovan Dooley. He helped me a lot. He helped me a ton too. He helped me a lot with the mental part of it, right? Like, seeing the fronts, seeing coverages, seeing rotation, seeing all that kind of stuff, because I'm big into that kind of stuff. Just seeing where the gaps are, and what the game plan is going to be, and how we're going to be able to attack this defense. So, for example, Hudson this week, they're going to be middle closed team, and it's just kind of like Boardman, honestly. Middle field closed, they'll spin the safeties a little bit more, and just the seams are going to be open, and lots of RPO. They have a light box too, but sorry. Anyways.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, the coaches are a huge part of every single football player. It's always gonna be a few coaches that help you get along the way, and Coach T has helped me tremendously, and Coach Saunders, the offensive coordinator, they've both helped me a ton since I've gotten here. And they try to make things simple for me and easy for me, but they also know that they know what my abilities are, and they know they can put some trust into me when it comes game time and in a big situation.
For sure, absolutely. I know I've been watching Coach T for a very long time, and I was one of the best coaches out there. And I've always watched your guys' interaction. I was the first person who talks about the field as the quarterback. So, but I mean, what is it like being a quarterback under Coach Tyrrell, excuse me?
Yeah, he played quarterback in high school, and then tight end at Youngstown State. So he knows the position well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say he's hard on the quarterbacks, but I feel like most coaches are, right?
Yeah.
But he makes things very simple for me within the offense, right? He gives me the RPO tagged on the play, and it gives me best look sides on route combinations and whatnot. So it's really fun being a coach. I mean, being a player under him and being able to play for the name on our chest, and playing for our own name. So yeah, Coach T he's helped me a ton, and he's tough, but I know it's tough love, and it'll be all good when we got that ring.
For
What's
sure.
your favorite?
Oh, go
What's
ahead.
your favorite thing about Coach T?
My favorite thing?
Yeah.
I would say my favorite thing about Coach T are probably his pregame speeches, I would say. And
Yeah.
and the fact that we can go to him anytime during the day,
Yeah.
and like anytime during the day at school, and just be able to talk to him and hang out with him, and he's just kind of like one of the guys for a little bit when we hang
Yeah.
out with him.
Great.
Yeah, I got you. So I have your senior year highlights here. Is Nick's highlights from this past regular season. Obviously, we're still going in the playoffs, but kind of recap your season so far, brother. I mean, what have you? Where have you feel like you really grown in your game, and some of your favorite moments?
I mean, for sure, everybody's got to say the Monday win, right? The Walsh game. I mean, that was a ton of fun.
Oh yeah.
Ton of
The
people
atmosphere
there.
was electric that night too.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
it was.
Here's a ball versus Walsh. Cover 2 hole shot. JC, great route, great catch. This was against King. This was a fun game, right? Game winning drive against them too as well. Great team. But I would say where I've improved the most this year is just like my processing and getting the ball out on time to my guys and getting it in spots where they can catch it. Because I know I have great athletes, and if I get them the ball in space or get them the ball at all, they're gonna make something happen. So I love just being able to do what I do and get the ball to my guys so they can make plays. And yeah, I mean it's been a ton of fun just to be a part of this team. Yeah, I mean King was an awesome game. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was.
Yeah, they
it
were
was
a tough team.
week
Go ahead,
3
Jersey.
early on. Yeah, week 3 early on, just a dogfight.
Nick, who's your favorite player of all time and why?
There's so many options, right? I mean, my favorite quarterbacks in the league right now are Justin Herbert, Jackson Dart, JJ McCarthy, and Josh Allen. Right? I love those guys. I love the way they play, and I love them all for different reasons. You know, Jackson Dart, I love his demeanor, his swag, his confidence. I like how JJ McCarthy carries himself and kind of some of his pregame rituals. Those are cool. The way he uses that. Josh Allen, I mean, just the way he plays, right? Gunslinger, can run all over you, can throw it. I mean, can run you over, right? Like all the intangibles, and then Justin Herbert. I was a big Oregon fan growing up, so I grew up watching him and like Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
And so I've watched him ever since college and now in the NFL, and just love watching him.
I got to follow up on that though. You mentioned JJ McCarthy and his pregame rituals. I've actually mentioned that because a lot of my platform, what I'm known for, you can see it says on the top there, more than anxiety, and so I do a lot of mental health. It's from my story to stuff I overcame, which I share on the internet and stuff, and on here. I know JJ uses a lot of those things that help with mindfulness and being present. And so, do you use a lot of those things as well for your pregame rituals? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I actually do. One of the things I do before the game, right, is I sit underneath the field goal post just like he did in college, and I just breathe for 10 minutes with some meditation music on, and I breathe. I visualize everything that I'm gonna try to accomplish that game and all the success that I'm going to and I want to have. And one of the big things for him and my mental coach, what me and him talk about, is just breathing and writing down, what's going to go on in the game and what you can say to yourself to calm yourself down and get yourself in that mindset. So, I love what JJ McCarthy does, and his 9 personality. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
How he talks about it's not JJ, it's 9 on game day, which is, I think that's sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I love hearing that. Everybody knows my story what I went through in high school, where I couldn't even finish school because of my anxiety and depression got so bad. I didn't have any of these tools. I didn't know about any of that stuff. I wish I would have, um, but I love hearing that, hearing younger athletes, even like yourself and JJ applying that. I know Jersey, you feel this obviously the same. I'm
Absolutely.
seeing your son go through that, but how do you feel like that helps you? I mean, you kind of mentioned how it helps, but where did I guess kind of you really start to feel that in a moment of a game where you feel like I need to just take a moment to kind of just settle down and have a moment to yourself on the bench? What's that like for you usually during because you guys playing a lot of high intense games, obviously like the Bum Day game, it's a lot on the line. You're trying to win. There's a lot of emotions. How do you find that moment in the game to really just kind of take a minute to decompress?
Yeah, so let's actually take it to the Walsh game. So I have on my wristband in every game, I have my play sheet, right? I have my play sheet just in case they call one of the play cards. And then underneath that I flip it over and I have things that I tell myself before I take the field for whatever the drive may be. Whether it's the game-winning drive or a big drive to finish, like to maybe put like to just put your foot on their throat, right? Whatever the drive could be or whatever the moment could be. I look at that and I say those things to myself. And the one thing that I remember saying to myself during that Walsh game when it came time to go, like go time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're born for this, right? And I was saying it out loud and I was saying it to like people around me, like, I'm born for this, like I'm born for this, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, hey, these dudes are not gonna stop us on this drive. We're going down, we're scoring, and we're winning this goddamn football game, right? Like a whole line.
Yeah.
I go into the film 10. I'm like, hey, I don't care what the heck has happened. This before this drive, we're gonna go down there, we're gonna score, we're gonna play our best football on this drive right here, and we are gonna win this. Whatever, we're gonna a lot more choice words, but we're gonna win this game right here. Let's go, right? And that got them fired up, and I was fired up, and that's really when you need it, when in the most clutch times. I mean, that's when a real quarterback's made. So I was excited.
Man, that got me fired up there now. Because, like I said, I played lineman growing up, and my quarterback, both my quarterbacks did that. Man, it was wartime. It was ready to go. It was blood. So somebody was getting ready. We're going out there to kill somebody. But
I was say, yeah, man, you got to give the most love to the O linemen, right? They don't get any of the glory. They don't get any of the hype, but they do the dirtiest work to keep me clean. So I love them to death, and I couldn't say enough good things about each and every single one of them.
Yeah. I mean, everything's contingent on the O line. You know what I mean? I mean, if they don't perform, nothing's happening. So I mean, it's amazing what happens when an O line's playing well. And in that game, just that push they gave Brayton, on that one drive where Squeaks picked that guy up in the air. But I mean, I was up out of my. I'm surprised you didn't hear me screaming in the damn bleachers, man, because I have people looking at me like, "What is this guy on cocaine or something?" I mean, because that's just how I am. I'm an emotional person, and when I see that kind of stuff, man, I can just get wound up. So I'm up like screaming, but because I just love seeing that, just not giving up on a play, and just that physicality and pushing. So it was great. And like I said, whatever you did in that game, it paid off in the end, man. Because that one little pass you got to Jackson, and he got a handful of yards after the catch. I mean, that was pivotal. That one, you probably agree with that. So you guys just did a great job in that game. That was one of the best football games I think I've ever sat through. I think we were saying that night.
yeah.
And man, it had me on the edge of my
you'll
seat.
never forget for sure.
Everything, man. The student section was. I mean, they were off the hook. I mean, it was just crazy. And
I mean, you had people pulling over on the highway to watch the end of the game. That's how crazy.
It was. And it was great. So.
I mean, it's all for nothing though if we end up facing them and we can't beat them though in the playoffs, because that's all that matters, right? It's November and December football, and
absolutely.
Regular season's for show, playoffs is when it comes real.
That's actually I don't want to hold your time up too long. I really appreciate you coming up here tonight. This is great stuff, brother. But So actually, hold on. We got Coach Martin in the chat too. He said Nick is a football guy. He will be successful in anything that he does. I wouldn't be surprised if he is coaching when he's done playing.
It's always been a dream of mine, Coach.
Shout out
That's
to Mr.
awesome,
Everything.
dude.
Mr.
Shout out Coach Debo with his triple-decker PBJs.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Yeah,
making peanut butter jelly for you guys.
Yeah, he really is Mr. Everything. You know, he knows everything. But
he's literally everywhere,
Yes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I walk into a class, he's just sitting there in the chair. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's got eyes on you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a wonderful human being though, man. He's built for this, so it's awesome to see.
We got Pat in the house. He said, "Great guy right here." He said,
I was watching his the other day too. So
shout out to Pat. Shout out to Pat's father as well, who I met at the game last Friday night. Great guy, and so awesome family, and love
great
Pat.
family. Yeah, we sat with the family a handful of times, and very nice people. Down there's people, cool people, and you can see it in Pat. You know what I mean? Type of guy that he is. So
loves his family. No. Sorry, fellas. That's my dog.
You're good, bro. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Hoban's definitely a family atmosphere. You feel it when you're there. I mean, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's asking, everybody's doing all the time. You need anything. But obviously, we all know what the main mission is. You know, they haven't won in 5 years, and you know, obviously, you understand the standard being there now, and you know what it is to win at Hoban. You know, you mentioned kind of the mindset going to the playoffs already. How do you have to the regular season? It's over with now. It's a brand new season. You guys are 1-0 already. You need 5 more wins to go?
4
more wins to go.
Four
more wins. Right, you had to buy 4 more wins to go. Kind of what's the mindset going this week against Hudson and just the rest of the playoffs? Obviously, you're the quarterback, and you know, obviously you're the leader of the team, and you understand all that. So, kind of what's your mindset as the leader going to the playoffs and the message to the rest of the team?
One day at a time. Like that's all we can do. One day, getting better each and every day to the best of your ability. Just making sure that you polish everything that you need to do going into the game, and then we go over another speed bump, as Coach T says, right? Mm-hmm. Just another speed bump, just another Friday night, and we're gonna keep going. But this is when we have to play our best football. So, Patty I said it best right there. Ring, ring. Let's go, baby. So, I'm pumped. We've been dreaming about this since I've got here. It's all anybody's talked about within the football team, and we know our goal and we know where our vision's at, but just one day at a time.
I know you said back when you were in Minnesota, you made it to the States on your high school team there. How did that experience back then? Is there any lessons you take from that helping you now in this playoff run as a senior?
Yeah, it makes me realize that I don't like losing. I've known that for a long time, and I don't like losing in the playoffs. So I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care what it will take, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to, get the guys around me that ring and, get my family what we need and what we want and what we deserve.
Wow. That's awesome. Jersey, got any final question here for Nick before we let him get up out of here?
No, Nick, here I just it's been a pleasure watching you, dude, and look forward to these next 4 games. And here's one game at a time. You know what you guys have been saying all year. You've been stacking. You know what I mean? So gotta keep stacking those wins, and like I said, just live in the moment, dude. Stay in the moment. Sounds like you do that, sitting underneath the goalpost, and everything's gonna pan out. You know what I mean? I think the only thing that could beat Hoban is Hoban. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you guys know that too, and. But here, Division 2 is
one of the best.
Division 1's won. Yeah, I don't know if there's a better. I mean, you talk about a stacked division. You know what I mean?
So, come on.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it's great players, great coaches, programs. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
great programs.
Yeah, I mean, so to be able to go through that, it's just awesome. So, just looking forward to it, dude, and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do my best to get me and my boys and my family at Hoban, the team, our ring. So, yeah, that's all I got left, and I appreciate you boys having me on. Thank you guys.
I appreciate you, brother, and I'll see you Friday night. So
yes, sir. See you Friday night. Let's go get another one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
we'll be there supporting you guys, and Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Have a great week.
Yes, sir. Will do, of course. See you, fellas. Thank you.
See you. Shout out to Nick Kinsey. That was awesome.
Yep.
That was,
Yep. Love high school sports. Can't get enough of high school sports. I mean, it's the best. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just I like having these guys up.
That's definitely a guy I'd run through a brick wall for. I'd tell you that. As a former
Yeah.
life, I can't stress that enough. He
Yeah.
was awesome.